This is another report about life in the time of the coronavirus, except you should know that it refers to a time about half a year ago, maybe 8 months. A doctor on the radio said that the confusion with the masks had nothing to do with science and medicine and everything to do with power and control. We wore masks to a grocery and a bakery today, and in both places we were told, you can take them off if you want to. We removed them immediately. The doctor on the radio called masks a health hazard for many reasons, mostly because people wear the same one day after day, and children fiddle with them, adjust and readjust them all day long. It's not a precaution, the doctor said. It's asking for trouble. He said masks were germ traps, small germ farms. Yet some people, like the field mouse, say, we know the mask works. It is effective. It's very important to wear the mask. Tomorrow they're going to have the first drawing for the $1 million for those who have gotten the vaccine. Many people are upset by this, thinking it is a poor use of public funds. Some lawmakers are trying to stop the lottery. The field mouse says it worked, that many people got the shot solely because of the lure of money. That's a bizarre thing to boast about, but I guess he feels that he got what he wanted. I hope it was worth $5 million. Maybe he should offer $100 for everyone who will wear a mask. We are noticing the first cicadas. Billions more will follow in rapid succession. We had a short vacation. We return to the cicadas. We see dead bodies and we hear them, but it's not overwhelming. Also, we return to see on the internet that the PM has announced his budget at $6 trillion. At $6 trillion, how can he call it a budget? Maybe someone on his staff proposed $60 trillion, and he said, no, let's hold it down. We're going to live on a budget. I'm thinking now that a budge is a lot of money. A budget is just a little. The PM is attracted to the budge. Way out in the middle of rural Indiana, in the midst of small towns and huge flat farmlands soaking up the rain, we saw signs supporting the trumpet. But that's not going to happen. Although, and here is a surprise, there's not going to be an official congressional investigation of the events of January 6th. I was certain they would press ahead with that. I truly wonder why they did not. There's a huge theme park not far away. Their business was crushed by the COVID-19 epidemic, and just now they are attempting to get things rolling again. Last weekend, on a Saturday night, there was a lot of shouting and name-calling, and a big, vicious brawl broke out. They are now identifying the participants and making arrests, mostly of juveniles with a few adults. The park is going to close 2 hours early this weekend, what should be a big weekend, Memorial Day. That's not their only problem. They're having trouble hiring staff. They are offering 900 jobs at $18 and $15 an hour, and they're not finding any takers. Maybe the problem is government handouts preferred to working, or it could be that people can't afford to drive to work. The The price of gas is now $3 a gallon, and it's going up steadily. This is partly the result of the PM and his Let's Go Green friends. We will discover that their idealism is going to be very costly. But the PM doesn't care about money. I'll bet that $5 trillion of his budget is all debt. As far as I know, which is not very far, the epidemic is still on. Kids in school must wear masks. But the Indy 500 was held yesterday with attendance limited to 130,000. There are fans in the stands for NBA games. In 2 days there will be no restrictions on attendance for the local baseball team. So if the epidemic is still with us, it's getting harder to see it. People are beginning to ignore the epidemic, and they resent it when someone reminds them of it, like when they have to wear masks on an airplane. The cicada infestation is not immediately apparent. There is a constant, distant background hum. In that way, it resembles the coronavirus epidemic. I was listening to a clip of Dave Chappelle, who has done so many wonderful things. Right now, he has become an eminence, an icon. And he said, as a comedian, I have a duty to speak recklessly. And to that I say, yes, absolutely. That is at the core of it. But I also say, watch out on that, Dave, because that can come around and bite you. It isn't a license or a permission. It's stolen fruit. It's dangerous. It has to be. You have to walk the wire without a net. And if you are truly committed to being reckless with what you say, then you have to expect trouble.